Most crime can now be traced to a suspect's digital footprint. Central Coast investigators are working with the Secret Service and the FBI using the latest technology to stay one step ahead of criminals. As KCOY 12's Natalie Vera reports, just in the last year, they've been able to revisit cold cases and prevent crimes like human trafficking.
The biggest challenge we have is putting somebody at the scene.
Sometimes investigators know exactly who committed a crime, but they couldn't prove it.
People like to hide behind a computer for their identities.
Until now.
This is some stuff where we're able to get into phones through different techniques.
Chris Fitzpatrick is a computer forensic specialist with the San Luis Obispo County Sheriff's Office. His position, dedicated specifically to digital investigations, was just created last year.
All forms of our life are electronic, and so when these crimes happen, everything from crimes against children to homicide to just property crimes, there's an electronic component involved.
Armed with the proper search warrant, Fitzpatrick can access a person's electronics to search for clues.
It can be computers, phones, cameras, security systems, video games, consoles, Xboxes.
Investigators use this box to look through a suspect's phone. When you put a device in here, it blocks all cell and Wi-Fi reception while they look for information.
That way nobody can remote swipe anything.
This cyber expert was examining devices in almost 400 cases last year. A big change in pace from the past as the Sheriff's Department plays catch-up.
We know you were there because so-and-so said you did this. It's really hard to deny that when we're able to produce the phone records and to show the connection where we know on this date and this time you made that call.
Fitzpatrick works with the Secret Service and the District Attorney's Office. The technological tools helped identify possible human traffickers and stay one step ahead of child predators.
One of our local residents was a 28-year-old male, and he was involved in an online relationship with underage girls from Minnesota. There's been cases where we've been able, through a phone, to just track movements across the country.
It's also a chance to revisit cold cases.
If we only had some of this technology back in the 90s, some of these crimes would not go unsolved for the length they did.
Fitzpatrick says the cyber component is just another means towards physical proof.
Eventually that leads to a brick and mortar address, to a house.
And he says technology is both a tool and his biggest challenge.
Technology is always changing. The Android phones and Apple phones, it's kind of an arms race to stay in front of them, and that's how we solve cases.
In San Luis Obispo, Natalie Vera reporting.